Hello and welcome back to Coffiko Crossing. I'm Sarah, and today I'm starting part 2 of the autumn farm build. So let's get our trusty construction helmet on and let's get to it. We are starting this one off with a bang. So we left off with just the beginning of the farm build, and I had terraformed a little bit of cliff, but I hadn't really finished it. I just kind of terraformed it just to have some height behind the storefront in that area, and then I left it. So I'm going to continue that terraforming and show you kind of where I went from there. And yeah, we're going to end up going pretty far in this one. Like I said in the first video, I ended up making this a much larger build than I had ever intended, but it was so pretty at the end and I love it, and I had so much more creativity of things that I wanted to do with it and different little transition areas to add. So there's so much more that is built on the island from this build. Loved how all of the trees just framed out the area so well. It feels like there's not a lot of trees because it's so clear where the farm actually is, but there really was so many trees, and I love how they're all in little clusters and they just kind of frame out. It's almost like you can see where the area was cleared for the farm and where that woodsy, landscape is still in the backdrop. I feel like the pathing was probably the longest portion of this whole build just because there was so much of it, and I kept having to decide, okay, where do I want my path to lead to? Because it was such a big area and there was so many different directions that the path could have led. So I had to actually stop and think, okay, what's gonna go here? What's gonna go there? So that I would know where to lead the path to. And I kept accidentally putting the path in the wrong place and having to go back over it, which is super annoying, but it's okay. It worked out. I was really hoping that I was going to be able to get another windmill up on this cliff. And see, there I go with the path again. I did that so much. And it took me a minute to get it right, but I was able to fit a windmill up here. I think that is just adorable. I didn't do a whole lot in a way of decorating some of these cliffs. I figured if I wanted to put anything else, I could always go back over it, but I just kind of put basic things up there to fill them out just for now. was so excited to finally have a reason to use the tractor. I got it a while back and I was just like, oh my gosh, when am I ever going to use this? And then when I started this kind of autumny cottage island, I was like, this island has to have a farm and we have to use a tractor. So I was really excited to finally use that item. And I was so pumped that I had this adorable pathing that really looked like little rows of a field. And then I tried planting pumpkin plants on it and it didn't even work. And I was like, oh man, what a waste. But it's okay. We ended up making best of the situation and using the mum cushions, which are an adorable item if you've never used them. I have had that recipe for forever and I've just never made it. So I made some mum cushions and put them on there. And then another item that we used that was great was the beach balls. I don't know if you guys have ever customized any of the beach balls, but they customize and they look like watermelons and they're so adorable. So we were able to utilize those for this build since I couldn't plant anything on the cute pathing. I was like, it's okay, we'll just use items and we'll make it work. And then I just went ahead and used the plain in-game pathing for the pumpkin patch just to be able to plant on it, because the dirt in the in-game is the only pathing that you can actually plant over. I don't think you can plant on any of the stone or anything. I don't think I've ever tried. I know you can plant the palm trees on the sand path, and then the different plants you can plant on the dirt pathing, but that's pretty much it. So I ended up having to go to the next day because I ran out of time, and so I had to continue the build the next day, which is fine. So now I'm just gonna go through and start to decorate these small little spaces and fill them up. I feel like that too is one of the reasons that this build ended up so big, is because I had all these little ideas and concepts for things to do. So I kind of spread them out and made these little sections of the farm. And then I finished and was like, wait, I have to tie them all together. So now I have to fill in these transition areas. So it just made it a much larger build than I had anticipated. I feel like my favorite bushes in game are those azalea bushes. For this time of year, they're so pretty. They turn the perfect shade of green, and of course they're not available to buy during this season with Leaf because he usually sells things that are in season, but they turn so pretty. I feel like I know that the tea olive bushes are in season, but I just really don't like the color of them. I feel like they don't match anything else. Everything is turning these gorgeous dark shades of brown and green, dark sage green, and the tea olive bushes just don't match. The azalea bushes, they look so pretty. And then there's another one. I'm trying to remember which flower it is. but it's like this light sage green. It almost matches the grass, but it's like a little bit of a different tint to it. It's so pretty. Those are my favorite bushes to use. So even though I know tea olive is like in plenty, you can always get them because they're in season and everything, I just don't like the way that they look as much on my island. So I'm interested to know now, what is everyone's favorite shrub or bushes or hedges or item that looks like a bush or a hedge that you like to use during this time of year? Because I've shared mine and I'm interested to know what you guys prefer during this time whenever all the colors are changing and everything is switching up a little bit. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now we're gonna work on resident services. So this is to the right of my resident services, and this is just the leadway to my farm. And so we're just gonna put some items and fill it up a little bit and make it a nice little transition spot that goes into the farm area. Love how many stunted trees I was able to incorporate into this build. They're adorable and I can't believe I hadn't used them much in the past, but once I discovered stunted trees, I have been obsessed. So I will probably be in a little bit of a stunted tree phase for a little bit and just use them in everything, but I just think they're so cute. This is another one of those areas that I was talking about that was just one of those transition places. Like, it's not a whole lot of space to fill, but it does look funny if it's just bare. So you have to put something there. So it took me a little while to figure out, okay, what looks good over here? I spent some time trying a few things and I was able to find a way to kind of fill it without overfilling it. I don't think it's fully walkable anymore, so you can't go all the way over there. But it does look full, like in the background of different areas of the island. see these beach balls I mentioned earlier. They're so adorable. They look like watermelons and I love it. Very inventive. I can't believe I had never seen those until just recently, but what a cute little item to make it look like little, additional garden over here since we weren't able to plant any real plants. It looks like Maple wants to talk. She had something to say, but she forgot. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Definitely one of my favorite villagers ever. She's adorable. But what I was gonna say is that we are gonna just lead this up to Chevray's Cliff. I wanted kind of a ending spot or just a leading to somewhere because it just felt very open-ended on this side of the farm. So I decided to lead this up to the cliff. The other side I did leave open-ended because I know where I'm going and it's going to be another build. So I just kind of left it where it was. But this side just felt unfinished if I didn't go ahead and transition it somewhere. So we went right over here to her cliffside. So that's this spot, and I think we have one or two little transitions to complete before we are done with this build. I cannot wait until it gets farther into November. The trees all start turning different colors of reddish orange and darker brown, and they just all look so pretty. And I am here for it because I have so many of these hardwood trees throughout my island, and they're gonna look so good all mixed up together in different shades and colors. Oh, it's so pretty. That's my favorite part of this whole season. That is it for this build. This farm turned out so great. I love just everything about it. So right over here you walk in and there's this cliff right off the bat with a windmill and a stream, and then there's the barn, of course. Lots of windmills, lots of silos, everything a farm needs. We've got the tractor and the watermelon, our pumpkin patch, everything. It's so cute. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, then give it a like, and if you haven't already, then subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!